Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Election Watch event. I know we're very excited watching the big screen back there and all the interesting talks today. To all our guests, colleagues, and friends, we are gathered here to witness a hallmark of our democracy, the 2024 United States presidential elections and a number of congressional races as well. Now, even at this early hour, it's inspiring to see so many of you here to share in this experience and learn more about our electoral process. I heard there were people lined up even at 6:45 a.m. this morning. So I want to give a big thank you, first of all, to our team at the U.S. Embassy who've been working so tirelessly to create this opportunity for all of us to connect over the principles that define our democracy. Any event with democracy and donuts is going to be a win in my book. So we thank Brown Sugar for providing these wonderful, colorful donuts to us today. And I also want to thank our American staff, sharing their diverse perspectives and experiences participating in the American democratic system, including Ayman and Stephen, our former civics teacher who did a great job explaining the complexities of the U.S. Electoral College. I think better than myself, so thank you to both of you. Today marks a significant moment in U.S. democracy. Seeing all of you here so early in the day is a reminder that the U.S. presidential election is closely followed not just by Americans, but by people all around the world. I've been impressed with how many Sri Lankans I meet every day who are interested and aware of what's going on in the U.S. presidential elections. Our interconnected world means that choices and policies made at home in the U.S. can also have a broad impact globally. Our U.S. democracy is not a static institution. It is alive and requires constant care and upkeep. We don't take it for granted. And as our Constitution lays out, our country was built by we, the people. Yet, like all democracies, it will always be imperfect and a work in progress, of course. So as we learn and grow, it is essential to keep improving and strengthening our government, our institutions, whether that's updating old processes to utilize modern tools, figuring out together how to manage new challenges, or deciding through our votes whether to keep or replace our leaders. A powerful example of change in our country's foundation is the work of women's rights activists in the 20th century who fought to expand the definition of we the people to include women, advocating for constitutional amendments, state laws, and shifts in public thinking. Our democracy is evolving with each generation as well, and those generations are constantly striving towards a more perfect union. They want and expect a government that is responsive, listens, and meets the needs of the people it serves. And our democracy requires active participation by all of us, which is exactly what we're here witnessing today. In the United States, the most visible part of the democratic process unfolded over the last day as citizens turned out to cast their votes. Similar to Sri Lanka, there are countless dedicated individuals who work behind the scenes to ensure the integrity of the electoral process. Participating in a democracy goes well beyond just casting a ballot and putting on the fun "I voted" sticker I see many of you wearing today, or using the indelible ink to mark our fingers. It involves everyone from the poll workers who assist workers on election day, to the officials who oversee election centers, to international observers keeping an eye on the process, to those who safeguard ballots and ensure the rules are followed, and even to our school teachers who teach children the importance of civic participation. These are the unsung guardians of democracies everywhere. The collective commitment to education, transparency, security, and fairness helps uphold the trust that we placed in our system to ensure that every vote is counted and that the democratic process remains resilient and fair. And I'm aware that there are many journalists in the room today. Great to meet so many of you. As we follow today's election coverage, it highlights the immense responsibility that journalists carry. reporting on elections, whether in Sri Lanka or the United States, is not just about announcing the results. It's about carefully gathering and presenting the facts, navigating complex issues, and ensuring that the public has access to accurate, impartial information. During times like this, when emotions can run very high, citizens rely on the media not only for updates, but for clarity and also trust. Your commitment to truth strengthens democracy by empowering each person to make informed decisions. By taking the time to get the story right, you uphold the values at the very core of free and fair elections. So thank you. You know, we don't claim to have a perfect system, as I've said, but we do share a collective, deep-rooted belief that no matter what, our government should always remain of the people, by the people, and for the people. Even when our system faces setbacks and challenges, like political divisions, questions of fairness, or voting rights issues, it is the resilience of our institutions and the dedication of those who participate who keep our democratic values strong. This morning, we're witnessing on the screens around you in real time the culmination of the years of debates, campaigns, civic engagement as voters decide who will be the next president of the United States. I know that democracies can be complicated, sometimes messy, but today I am both deeply grateful for the hard work that went into this election, filled with inspiration and excitement about the future that it will help to unfold. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump both represent different visions for America's future. But at the real heart and constant here is the role of the American people in deciding that future. Now, you're all likely aware that the current status of votes, at this time, the race is too close to call. So I thought that maybe around this time we would be able to announce who the winner would be. But at this time, it's still too close to call. So while our Election Watch event will likely conclude without a clear winner today, if we have done our jobs today, hopefully, all of you have a little more insight into how our elections work and also why we don't have the election results yet. A winner will be decided soon, and the most important thing is that we have a peaceful transfer of power and that our officials and citizens will set up whoever the president-elect is for success. And speaking for myself and our colleagues, as employees of the Department of State and other agencies, we will work hard and do our best to support the president that the American people have elected. No matter the eventual declared result of this election, we have two candidates who are dedicating themselves to represent the American people and who have brought their vision for the future of the United States to the forefront. So as we conclude this morning, I'll share one last thought with all of you. While we talk of a collective vote, democracy is also about the stories of individuals. Every vote cast is a voice shared and a testament to the power of civic responsibility. The electoral process that we're seeing unfold today is a reminder that democracy is not just a set of laws or institutions, but a shared commitment to a better future. Through all of its nurturing, protection, and sometimes necessary reforms, through it all, the core principle remains the people. The people hold the power. This power is sacred, and it is through the people's continued engagement that democracies exist and thrive. So in closing, whether we agree or disagree on the policies or candidates or the outcome, the true strength of democracy lies in the respect we show for our differences and in the belief that through our collective efforts, we will continue to build a stronger and better future. So on behalf of the United States of America, we hope you all enjoyed gathering with us this morning and witnessing this important moment in history. Thank you all for coming.